Ria, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you're here. And like we were saying outside, I've seen you around and on social media, but I don't actually know your story. And so I'm really excited to hear it. So where are you from? Are you from here?
I'm from Carlsbad.
Okay.
Yeah. So my family, like my dad specifically, his side of the family, have been here since the 1950s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Were they smart enough to buy a house?
No. So I know. My dad beats himself up every day about it. So my grandfather, he was Camp Pendleton. So World War II, all that, and Vietnam. And so he was Camp Pendleton. They ended up buying a house in, right by Carlsbad High School.
Okay.
And so once he died, my dad was, 17 years old and basically orphaned. So he's like, cool. Sold the house.
Of course.
Beautiful home. Right. And then just had this huge, had the GI Bill. So he took the GI Bill and went to Hawaii to go surf and, hook up with hotties on the beach and totally blew through the money. And I'm like, dude. And, he built himself up. He really did. He got sober actually in Oceanside in 84.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
And that's where he met my mom. And so
in an AA meeting?
In an AA meeting.
So you're like AA legacy.
I all of my family, I won't name names, are in this program.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like how other people have college legacies, like some rich family where the legacy is like Princeton.
Right.
Your legacy is AA.
I'm all watch out.
That's awesome.
I've got big numbers in the game.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So
dude,
crazy.
I think about that all the time when you see those pictures of Carlsbad back in the day or Oceanside, it's like farmland.
Right.
Or Malibu, same thing. And I'm like, dude, a couple of smart motherfucker, or not even smart. You just did it because that's where you landed probably.
Right.
A couple of guys bought homes and their families became multimillionaires.
Exactly.
Because they bought property in the 50s. And sometimes to my dad, I'm like, why didn't you do anything?
Oh, I'm pissed. I'm holding a resentment. I can't get through that one. How dare you bring me to Carlsbad?
A $10 million home or something,
Yeah, and I will give them this. They do own a home in Carlsbad.
Okay.
That home is a condo. It's cute. At the time was pretty cheap for the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They probably paid $200,000 for it, and it's probably worth $3 million.
It's worth double what or triple what it was.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, so that's good then.
It is. No, yeah. But now I got this sister who knows that too.
Right. That's awesome.
But no, it's been rad. I mean, growing up in Carlsbad, this is not what Carlsbad looked like when I was little.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was like farmland kind of, right?
A little bit. I mean, it's always been the village, like a little,
okay.
You had the downtown Carlsbad. That was super cute. But none of these, these little buildings have been here, but all this back stuff, this is my first time walking through here and I've lived here my whole life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So God, I love the village. This is probably my favorite part of San Diego, actually, is the village. Yes.
I love that. Yeah.
This is where I did most of my heroin use, though, in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of ruined it for myself a little bit. So I started in the village, and then as things got worse, I ended up in Oceanside.
That's where we all end up.
Of course.
That's my favorite place in the world.
That's where I ended up.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Vista.
Of course. I mean, you hit all of North County at some point in your journey. I've been in Escondido smoking meth with guys on the sidewalk and thinking I'm great.
Totally.
This is where I'm meant to be.
Dude, Escondido is the only place. I stayed in a couple of crappy motels out there overnight, but it's the only place where I wasn't homeless and hanging out. Is it real that there's those underground tunnels?
Oh, I that's beyond my scope of Esco. I mean, the only time is there's that weird riverbed that goes along the Santa Fe, or not Santa Fe, what am I saying? That street market, a flea market thing, swap meet. And under there, you can kick it.
Right,
and I remember being down there and being like, this is where I think I draw the line. I'm this chick from Carlsbad. I'm not a tough broad.
And for those of you guys watching, the area that we're describing is sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
You see on Facebook the Vegas tunnels where all the people live. I've heard that they have that in Escondido too.
I don't doubt it.
I don't doubt it either. I've just never met anyone that was cruising around in there.
Well, there's tunnels in Carlsbad.
Where homeless people hang out? Really?
Yeah. Oh my
God. I didn't know that.
So so I live on the lagoon, right? In those condos over there, not the super nice ones, but the condos over there. There's a place called the Mushroom Tree or 420 Tree.
Okay.
And it's on the Hacienda Lagoon, but on the other side where the YMCA is, and there's a huge opening. And in that opening goes along all of the train tracks, the bike track right over there.
I did not know that.
So when have you heard of the gutter sluts?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what gutter sluts came from, was because
No
we were called
way.
gutter sluts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so one of my friends that's in this program, he actually was like help me get sober. He would call us all the girls that hung out in the gutter sluts.
Okay. And I love that you guys reclaimed that. And what she's talking about is there's an AA meeting now, a famous big women's meeting called the Gutter Sluts.
Yeah.
I have a t-shirt that says Gutter Sluts.
So do I, the Gooter Sleuts.
The Gooter Sleuts. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So let's talk about how you ended up a gutter slut.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I was the gutter slut of Carlsbad.
Dude.
Like I ran Carlsbad so dry that I got kicked into Oceanside. Happily, I was totally all right with it. But yeah, I mean,
so growing up, your dad was already sober.
Yes, so my dad was already sober. My mom didn't stay sober, but so there was like this always. But my dad's a dry drunk. He hated AA. He hated 12-step recovery programs because he didn't want to believe that another man was going to tell him how to live his life. He's like very independent and against that. But I was raised with like one's too many, a thousand's not enough. But I always thought they were talking about snacks. Like all the cliches, all these things that I was like picking up on later as I got, went into the rooms. But yeah, I mean, growing up here specifically is like pretty rich predominantly. Like I grew up pretty middle class, so I was always like in competition and never felt like I fit in, or that whole rundown, like I'm never pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, like I just kind of sat somewhere in the middle. And so when I found like alcohol and other substances, I was like, oh, I can chill, like totally. I can finally sit down in my seat and feel good. And I don't know, like, was that solution or that like quick fix?
Yeah.
And
how old were you the first time you drank, or what was the first drug that you did?
So I don't know, like people will be like, oh, I was 10 years old when I had my first drink. I don't know. My mom drank when I was in the womb. So to be quite honest, I was probably an alcoholic from the start. But I think my first drink, I would have to say was probably around 13, but it wasn't that, I didn't have that, ooh, I have arrived moment with alcohol. Like, okay. It was just kind of felt good once I got the effects of it, but it wasn't what I sought. Like when I smoked meth for the first time, I could tell you what it smelled like in the air, how my body felt, where I was. Like I was listening to Moody Blues, a White Satin song.
I love that song.
Yeah, I know, me
Nights
too.
in White Satin.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, this is it. I'm good. Like,
how old were you that time?
14.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where were you? Tell me the scene.
So we were at one of course, like everybody has that friend that's named like short, like little Pete, or not little Pete, but they called him Peep. And then there was a guy named Buddha, and
Two Shot.
Yeah, like shit like that. And so we're at Buddha's friend's house, and it was like another gentleman named Steven who did not look like a Steven. And yeah, down the street from right here, it was crazy. So I'm sitting on this guy's bed. He definitely lives at his mom's house. He's 30 plus years old. My girlfriends are like hooking up with one of their friends. And I'm like, fuck it, I might as well. Like, here we are, And like at that point, I'd already smoked weed and had a few drinks and like whatever. So I was like, I wanna at least experience this. It wasn't peer pressure either, where people are like, oh, were you like, was it just the cool thing to do? Like, no. I wanted to be like them.
Totally.
And that movie 13.
Yes.
That like it was like how I wanted my life to look like.
Okay,
so
y'all's whole age and a little older, up through like Rachel's age, because that whole crew that I'm friends with is like 34 to 36. Everyone in my life is like exactly 10 years younger than me. It's so weird, including my husband.
Okay.
He's that age. So a little bit older
you were
than
like
you.
35.
No, my friend. I'm almost 46.
That's incredible.
Are you being serious? I hope you're being serious.
No, I'm 100%.
Because I'll leave it in.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Okay. That's amazing.
But I think it's because I didn't stop. I started using heavy at like 26.
Okay.
And stopped at 35. And so I think I delayed myself 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because everyone,
yeah.
even who I married, you know what I mean? It's all like that. So my point is, y'all's whole like age is obsessed with that movie 13. And I remember seeing it when I was like, I don't know, 23 or 24.
Right.
And I remember thinking, wow, this girl is fucked up. And you guys all wanted to be her.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God, yeah. Are you kidding? I wanted to be, they were like spinning at the park, like one of those, parks, and she's spinning and she's on LSD holding on to some dude. And I'm like, that's all I want. I'm like, that looks fantastic.
Rio, I guarantee you that's going to be like one of the most relatable things that's ever been said on this show.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Uh-huh.
Good. Because it's true. Like, there was something about it that, like, romanticized it,
Totally.
you know, and it
Yeah.
was like a connection that I couldn't find at like school and with people, but like when I was loaded, I connected so well to these people who did not matter, you
Yeah,
know, but
totally. I wanted to be like Ginger in Casino.
okay.
That was my
Okay. Yeah.
13,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. But just like the casino mid part, like
Right.
with the long hair and the furs, not the
It's
dying in the
so-
hotel later.
Yeah, it's
And
so
like
fabulous.
one of the biggest lessons I had to learn was that like at this level, that casino part, the dying in the motel is like the necessary end for that.
Right.
For me.
Right.
Yes, I end up dying in the motel with my coin collection left, and that's all I have left to my name or whatever she had.
Right.
So you smoke meth for the first time with this dude,
Yeah.
and you
yeah.
love it at 14.
Yeah, super stoked. I spun the like world globes.
Mm-hmm.
Like my girlfriend at the time, she was the one using, right? And I watched, and I'm like not in my body yet, you know, like I'm just doing this stuff for like the first time, and she's sitting there and she's like spinning a globe for like 3 hours.
And you just remember it.
And I'm just like, you know, all weirded. I'm just a weirdo, you know, like I'm a total weirdo. And so I kept using in and out of like being a teenager or
Right.
whatever. It was like whatever was available is what I took.
Right.
And so like, yeah, I had this, like, I knew that I loved the feeling produced by crystal or even by cocaine. I just like to feel outside of myself. So eventually, like, what led up to an even like bigger problem was when I was 14 too, I got kicked out of my parents' house here in Carlsbad.
Okay.
And so and me and my mom were pretty like, I don't know, like physical. We'd get into these big altercations, and my dad was just over my shit. And so I moved to a house off, like, if you know the area, Roosevelt,
Yeah.
like by Lola's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a house right there that I lived in with this lady who was 46 at the time. I'm 14. She's like, her daughter's in prison. Her son's a heroin addict. And I'm like, this is where I need to be.
How did you know her?
Okay, so her grandson, this kid that I grew up, no, it wasn't her grandson. It was her son, but he was younger than I was. So it was like this weird dynamic. And so we'd go over there and smoke weed in her backyard.
Sure. Okay.
And like get burritos at Lola's, and she'd smoke weed with us. And eventually she like came to me and she's like, hey, can you watch my grandson, who was her daughter's son, who she had right before she went to prison, right? So I'm taking care of this kid, and I'm like, what's going on? This is like the weirdest fucking dynamic. But eventually it led to me staying the night, and then I'm getting kicked out, and she's like, well, you can just live here.
Wow. Okay.
And so at that point I was like, this is fantastic. I have
Yeah.
a place to stay. I have a place where I can do whatever I want. She was hanging out with all like the like barrio guys at the time, so they're smoking meth, they're doing heroin, all these things that I'm like new to, but I enjoy because
Right.
it gets me out of myself.
Do you keep going to school?
I go to school.
Okay.
I graduated from Carlsbad Village Academy.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm going to school. We eventually moved from that house on Roosevelt to these trailers down by the South Carlsbad, like the RV, or what is it, like camping
the
ground?
RV ground. Yeah.
There's a camping
Yeah,
ground.
yeah.
And so we moved into this weird ass fucking trailer.
With her? You moved with her?
Yeah, I'm sleeping on a blow up mattress in this kid's room, right? And I'm like still going to school. I'm getting on the 101 to the 325 on a bus
To go to school.
to go to school, because I was like, if anything,
And
I
these
need
are city buses, guys, not like the school bus.
Yeah, no, there's no school bus. So I'm getting on these, and I'm running after these buses because most of the time they miss you.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'll get them to stop, or I'm an hour late to school because I had to wait for the next one. Yeah. And I'm still like, so I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she introduces me into this like weird, demoralizing lifestyle of like, hey, I know a way that you can make money and live here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that
Okay.
led into just, okay, I can do this, or I can fix the relationship I have with my parents and go back and get some structure. My best thinking is I'm staying here and making that money,
Wow. Okay.
and so for a long time that was like...
And by that, you mean like sex work?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you meant selling drugs for a second. I thought that's probably what you meant.
No, I wasn't good at selling drugs. I did them all.
Me neither. Me neither. Wow. So you're 14, 15 when this started?
Yeah, so at this point, like 16. So this went on for a while. And to be honest, like I was going back and forth too. Like I would find a dude that I'd stay with for a while. And Vista, I think, was like my first outside boyfriend, right? And so I'd go stay at his sister's house and we'd go do that. And then I'd, go back to my parents for 2 weeks. Shit would hit the fan. So it was just like this, constant wheel. But she always let me back in because I always provided something for her too. Because I was, young. I brought over young people. I brought over some fun. And then I was able to like do the outside work for her,
How would she set that up? Would she just bring somebody to the house, or was she taking pictures of you? Like, what did she do?
So she would bring me to like parties.
Okay.
Yeah. And so at first it was like, minimal stuff, like just being cute and young and fun and drink and do whatever, whatever drugs were available. And then it got pretty gross.
Wow. Did she do it too?
No. And there's like, she wasn't the most attractive woman in the world. Like she was she was gnarly, but she always made me feel wanted.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, like that's what I wanted. I think my first addiction ever was attention. Like I just wanted to feel good in my skin. And then on top of that, now I have men telling me I'm beautiful and I'm gorgeous, and they would leave everything behind if they could have me, and these are men that are like 30 plus my age, and
yeah.
And I never had dad. Like my dad's my best friend. Yeah. So a lot of people are like, oh, you probably have daddy issues. I'm like, no, motherfucker, I got mommy issues.
I hate when people say that to me.
Right.
Because I'm super close to my dad too.
Right.
And everybody assigns this awful like daddy issues thing to any addict really.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I get really upset about it. And then it makes me look like I do have daddy issues because I get really mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people are like, whoa, take it easy. And they're like making fun of me. And I'm like, no, I do not have daddy issues. But then I act so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just nuts. I don't need daddy issues to add on to it.
Right.
I've got enough issues up in my head. My mom and my dad are not the problem.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
So she kind of groomed you.
Yeah. And I didn't know what that was.
For sure.
And so, if I, like, to kind of fast forward a couple years, the first time I went into rehab in 2020, like in September, like right during the pandemic, right? And this psychologist, she's like explaining it to me. She's like, you realize like you were raped and molested for years. And I go, oh. Like I thought I had so much power in those moments, and I felt like the fur coat. Like I felt powerful. Like I felt like glamorous almost. Like I knew it was gross and that like my other friends wouldn't accept it, and still showing up to school after doing those things was fucking foul, and I hid a lot of that life I even hid it from myself, that's why getting loaded was so nice. It like erased it. You're numb. I could do anything you wanted. You know what I mean? And so to like finally have someone confront the issue, because no one talked about it, not even myself, if you were you had to have been my best friend for me to even get kind of close to talking about it. And this lady, she ripped my chest open, and I finally like recognized that I have so much, and I hate it, trauma.
I hate that word too.
I hate it.
But it's true that the best way I ever heard trauma explained was too much, too fast, too soon. Anything. And it doesn't matter what it is. Because I always felt the same way. My parents got divorced and I lost my mind. And I'm like, that's no big deal. I wasn't trafficked and groomed. I would have thought yours was trauma. You know what I mean? But like, do you know what I mean? Like, you think of like Vietnam vets.
Right, PTSD, stuff like that, yeah.
But it's true that anything too fast, too soon, too much before we can process it is, in fact, trauma. That's so funny that we both hate daddy issues and we both hate trauma.
Right.
They're just such buzzwords, and I feel like they take away my ability to have accountability for my life now. Right. Or something. I don't know why. It just bugs me.
I don't want to be a victim.
Yes.
I don't want to be a victim.
Right.
And for so long, I felt like a victim.
Yeah.
That I no longer identify with that.
Sure.
And I've worked and I've done so much work on myself since sobriety.
Yeah.
That I'm like, yeah, that's my story. And like, I don't wish to shut the door on it, but I don't wish to rehash it.
Totally.
And also,
or let it define your present.
Yeah, exactly. And like, luckily I do have that story. I used to say this when I was getting loaded, when I'd, be with my girlfriends. I'm like, I'm so grateful it happened to me because I couldn't imagine it happening to someone else. Like I was strong enough to get through those things. Yeah. And like when it's you, and I don't know, like I can't watch movies about it. Like I get really weird, but because I don't like it happening to other people, but myself, like I like can take it.
Oh, Rio, that's like really sad and really sweet though.
It's really fucked up. Right? I'm sick, you know, but it's true. Like I'm not to like, but I have to find humor in all of it.
For sure, me too.
Because then it's just too real for me and I can't do that.
So do you graduate from high school?
I do, valedictorian.
No, you weren't.
Okay, but I'm going to be very blunt. I graduated. Oh, I hit that, sorry.
No, it's like oddly loud.
Yeah,
Is that
like a
crazy?
little echo.
Yeah, it's so loud.
It totally
And they
picks it
can't
all
hear
up.
it.
Oh, really?
No. So like actually Ian's episode, the opening moments, we both put this down and it's like earth-shatteringly loud. And I say to him, that's loud as fuck, huh? And then I realized when I was watching it, the audience can't hear it.
Oh,
so
really?
apologies last week, guys. I wasn't just losing my mind. You guys can't hear it. But
We're in
when
an echo chamber
when
right
we
now.
touch this table, it's like a nuclear blast in your ears.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Yeah, so graduate. I graduate, but prior to all that, I get kicked out of high school.
Okay.
So I'm a fighter. I'm prepared to beat up everyone. I got arrested. Okay, here, whole story. We'll go into it. I beat up 2 girls at 2 different times, but within the same like month.
Okay.
So because of that, I was kicked out of Carlsbad High School and put into CVA. Then I got arrested while at CVA. And like they had to lock down the school because I had gotten in another fight. The girl pressed charges. It was actually behind knockout. It was fucking humiliating, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, watch me get arrested in front of all these kids. Like I thought I was super tough. And so yeah, I ended up staying at CVA. The principal at the time like really fought for me to stay because they wanted to send me out. They said I was a hazard to the environment or whatever else. I was like, fuck you. I told my principal at Carlsbad High School that I was like gonna come kill his family and shit. Like I was psychotic. I kicked the janitor in the face. Like I was not normal. And so I'm dealing with all of these like things and not one adult has been like, oh, what's going on?
Really?
No one.
That is wild.
So crazy to me, like when I'm thinking, because now I have a child.
Now you
know?
have a kid.
And I'm thinking, how did not one person go, oh.
Hey, where are you living?
Yeah, where the fuck? Where you at?
Yeah.
You know, you're flunking out of freshman year. You're fighting all these people. You're showing up on a bus.
Yeah.
Like not one of you were like, oh, let's check on her.
That's wild.
You know? So yeah, it was a trip. And like at one point too, I'm dating some dude who's way older than me, getting dropped off in front of the school by him in his nice ass car. Right. And you're all just like, oh, it must be her brother. I don't know.
That's
like
wild.
Crazy to me.
Yes.
That I was getting away with it. But I get kicked out. I go to CVA. CVA is the best school that could have happened for me because these teachers loved me.
Aww.
And one of my teachers, Mr. Azir, I still remember him. He felt for me. And I ended up becoming valedictorian for graduation. They used to let me go out because I was 18 when I graduated. They'd let me go out for 30 minutes to go smoke cigarettes.
But like, I could get on board with that actually.
Right?
Yes.
I was like, okay.
At some point, especially with a teenager that shows some promise, which obviously you were, accommodating something like that could be the difference between them staying or not. So like, I get that. And I know that that's insane. And that's certainly not something that would have been okay at my school or probably the public school here either, Carlsbad. But like, I can see that. I can't believe you were the valedictorian.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I got it on personality because I was really kind, you know, like I was really loving. I got in a fight in class at CVA with a girl who was trying to fight my teacher, but I was like, fuck that. And I like intervened on it and I beat the shit out of this chick. And I don't say that like I hated that I used to fight these girls because they were much smaller than me and I was like mean as hell. Like I did not stop. And so I ended up valedictorian. I graduated in 2014. It was really rad. I gave a speech, right? And it was so sweet. My sister popped up out of nowhere. I hadn't seen her in forever, and she was at my graduation.
Did your parents go?
Yeah, but my dad was with my dad's real old school. Like he's super 80s, so he had this like weird camcorder. Like the sweetest thing ever. My sweet little dad just running around the auditorium trying to get videos and pictures, which I don't even think are developed. They're just in the ether, you know? And yeah, I gave a speech and I was like, you know, Harvard didn't call me back and I'm not going to Berkeley. but I'm going somewhere, and it was a really sweet speech, and it talked about like second chances, and there was a girl in my class who had just had a baby, and I was like, it's like no matter where you are in life, like you're here and you're able to like get through all the things, and
Aww.
and it was sweet. It was a really sweet, I felt like that was one of those moments where I was really proud. You don't have a lot of those when you're running and gunning.
Yeah.
So to like stand up there in front of a crowd of people and see people like teary-eyed and kind of like get it was like the first time I was like, oh, maybe they see me, and it was amazing.
What did you do after high school?
After high school, I kind of got a little bit better. So I ended up getting my own apartment with my best friend, and I started working like little jobs. And at the time I was just smoking weed. I got over like the weirdest thing. Like I was just over all of the extra stuff. I wanted to be normal. Like I saw girls going off to college, and I saw like, girls from when I was in middle school, like friends like that, like doing things, and it looked so fancy to me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like life got a little bit better looking internally and externally, but I was like still a little empty, still like seeking validation, still living with like the inability to like cope with reality. And so I was 21 and I met him. We got engaged. We had a baby.
That's the baby that you have.
That's the baby I have. Yeah, that one. And like life was like looking up. Like I was finally like, he didn't know my story though.
Oh, okay.
So that comes later, but we did all the right things, we thought. I was 22 when I got pregnant, 23 when I had my son. Okay. So now I'm basically lost my identity in my eyes. I became, this kid's mom and this guy's wife or fiance, and I no longer was Rio. Like Rio died out. And so I had postpartum depression and ended up handing my son was a year and some change, and I handed him over to his dad, and I said, I can't do this anymore. It's getting in the way of me. So I ended up, I think my son was like 5 or 6 months old, and I got a job at a bar. Okay. And so there I was able to get attention from people and drink and do cocaine and, all this stuff. And I was like hiding it. But eventually it came to a head. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I hate being a mom. I'd rather go out and party all night than come home to an angry fiance who tells me what I need to do and a crying baby. That doesn't sound like me.
Right.
So like the fear.
So you left?
I left.
Wow. Where'd you go?
So that was during the pandemic, right?
Okay.
It was February. So right before it was when I was making that decision to like move on. And I was living in my friend's attic because that's normal. Yeah. My girlfriend was like, oh, well, you can come stay here for a little bit. And it's in an attic at her dad's house on his property. And then I eventually met a dude. I shacked up with him. We did the whole pandemic, like shut down together. It was like 4 alcoholics in one home with a little bit of a cocaine problem. And so I'm like, this is great. No kids, no stress. I lived in the alleyway at the beach in Oceanside. So this is when Oceanside comes to like full effect.
Okay.
And I'm living in this alleyway.
Wait, actually, like homeless?
No, that comes later. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is when I'm in Oceanside and shit starts to get real bad. And I'm living in this alleyway, right? And we're all partying all night, and we're in the alley in our bathing suits because we're so close to the beach, and no one's working. We're getting stimulus checks. It was fantastic, and I was able to like pay for all my drugs. And then down the alley was this guy that rode a bike. He's a motorcycle dude. And I was like, I want him. I don't know how I'm going to get him, but I'm going to get him. And eventually I did. And he's part of an organization of biker guys. Okay. And I immediately like moved myself in. I said later to the guy I shacked up with, I'd just been spending like the last 2 months in his home rent-free, using their drugs, drinking their alcohol, So I move in and I lived with him. Literally, they could see me if they walked outside. Like, we were 3 doors down. And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I got what I wanted.
Right.
And meanwhile, in all of this time, I'm not seeing my son.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that.
Nope. Didn't want to. Didn't want to contact them. Didn't want them
So you weren't talking to his dad either?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
No. Yeah, my son was This right before he turned 2.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I want nothing to do with it. I'm not. And then in my head, how I rationalize it, it was like, he doesn't want me as a mom right now. This isn't for him. He can't see me like this. And the idea of getting better was not there. Like, I didn't even think that was a solution.
Yeah.
So I'm living with this dude, and I remember your story, because didn't you live in like a doghouse or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can relate. I lived in a shack.
Okay.
Yeah, a shack.
Mine was like a little shed kind of, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like a shed. There's this house, and then in the yard area, there was 2 sheds. And I lived in this shed with my dude.
This is in Oceanside?
Yeah.
It wasn't house.
No.
Okay.
No, this guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to beat both of those things out. But for a second, I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Because it was in this guy's backyard.
Yeah.
You probably ran into he was a connect for a long time. Mexican dude, Pozole.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Especially when he's at Pozole.
Yeah,
we were
Pozole.
all,
That's where I was, in the doghouse.
Oh,
yeah.
In the doghouse.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Off an alleyway.
Yeah. It's always in an alleyway.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. I don't care what they say. Don't get rid of the alleys. It was so bad. In the room, mind you, and at this point, I found him. We're getting manufactured crystal. So it's like,
oh, right, through the club.
Yeah, the club. Yeah, so the shit's getting really, really weird. I'm running around with them. I'm thinking I'm something I ain't, and then I'm getting loaded, and we're living in this shed, right? And it's painted a different color every day.
Sure.
And the other shed, we're like drawing shit. I'm a calligraphy artist now. I'm throwing axes and shovels at the palm trees, like fucking weird. And I'm running around, like I'm not in one area.
And meth is the primary.
Oh yeah,
okay.
That's all I'm doing at that point.
Okay.
It was like alcohol lubricated me enough to like go do other things, but I didn't even need alcohol anymore. Alcohol was just if maybe if I feel like it,
right.
But yeah, it was full blown snorting meth and then hiding because he couldn't do heroin, right? But he would leave me with crystal, and then I would be wanting to come down after a couple days alone because he'd leave me and go cheat on me and sleep with other broads, taking my truck too because he didn't have a car.
Right.
And it was so fucked up. So I'm stuck. So I'm sneaking, thinking that he could come at any moment because I never got like a, hey, I'm on my way type shit. He didn't give a fuck. And so I'm like hitting up his homies and I'm like, hey, can you come here? Like, I need to come down. Right. And so then I'm like, let's smoke some heroin, or what do you got? I'll do anything you got to not be like this anymore. I've been up for 6 fucking days. I got caught yelling at the fucking bush at 12 p.m. and little families walking by and I'm all, fuck you, and I come to and it's a fucking bush and I'm in my bathing suit, like 90 pounds. Like it was bad. It was like the weirdest time of my life. And then I one time thought the Aryan Brotherhood was after me. That's what
based on your connections, that could have been true.
Dude, I was coming up with the craziest shit, and like we're doing some weird stuff, and I basically, the guy I was living with. So just to crack you up, like to really make the image, the man I was living with, not my dude, but the guy he was renting the space from, renting. No one was paying rent, and he was shooting up dope. Like crystal and doing the fentanyl stuff because that's when I first found out about fentanyl. And he was talking to the blues and the grays, right? Like the aliens.
Oh.
And so they said that the poison was coming up from the ground. So this man, fully loaded with a big old butane lighter, burns his foot to the bone.
No.
Videotapes everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. It's the gnarliest. I don't know if you've smelt flesh.
No.
But him and his like little gay lover were sitting there, and this guy, the guy that he's hooking up with, which I didn't know, like, whatever, do you? And he's sitting there videotaping it.
Oh my gosh.
And fully burnt, like no foot.
Wow.
Like to the bone. Yeah. And so he's obviously a little fucked up.
Right.
And so we have him healing in this house, right? And he's still shooting up. He's still doing the dope. He eventually takes my almond milk out of the fridge, puts his raw ass foot into the what is it, the ground, like the soil, and pours almond milk on it. And I'm fucked up, man. Like, I'm at this point, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? You know, just this is just to paint how the chaos of my life at this point. And he was like, then he would walk around. So like I said, my ex would leave me all the time, and I'm living in this little hut, like shack home with like a window and a door. He would walk around, or hobble, I should say, around this shack in the middle of like the night when I'm still awake, but I'm just like not trying to participate in whatever the fuck he's doing. And he would knock on my window, and like the door didn't lock. So he'd come in and I'd pretend to be sleeping, and he would grab areas of my body thinking he was healing me. Like, dude,
Terrifying.
Tweaker. Like, but this is the shit that we...
Yeah.
But never once was it a thought to leave.
Okay.
Like, there was never that moment of like, oh shit, I should probably go home to my kid and make right with my family.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm gonna sit here in this shack where this fucking psycho is losing his foot to the soil because it's now infected.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was going back and forth between Oceanside, San Bernardino, fucking Arizona. And
like just buying dope and traveling around with these guys?
Yeah, just traveling around.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does this go on?
It goes on for about a year.
Okay.
Like close to a year. There was no real time. Like I couldn't tell you when it stopped, you know, all that.
Do you ever get arrested?
No. Well, I got...
When you were younger?
Yeah, well, no. In this time period, I did.
Okay.
I got detained, but the thing was, I'm 90...
Oh, it was COVID, too.
Yeah.
They weren't arresting people.
The GSU pulled us over.
Okay.
The gang suppression unit.
Oh.
And so that was in Oceanside, and I used to have it all on video because I was that bitch that would, like, pull up the phone and, like, have it all documented. But I'm tweaking. I'm in my car that's not registered, not licensed. They don't take my car. Because their whole goal was like, if we
find him.
Yeah. So I was always like this, what are they doing with our poor girl? She's going to die out here, you know, or like, you know, like you said, I looked 23.
So back then, I'm sure you looked
I looked 16.
Yeah.
I looked like a baby.
Once they get their sights too on, again, a him, of which I had, my guy was selling guns and crazy stuff. And so I'm arrested for, you know, this necklace. And they just wanted him. You know what I mean? Like, that would happen to me, too.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I got my car eventually repoed with a gun in it. So they're showing, it gets bad. So my car gets repoed right outside of the house we're living in. My dad is working at the city. My dad co-signed on that truck I had. Oh. So my dad gets raided. Because they didn't know where I was at. I had no other address lined up. So my dad gets questioned at work, and then his house is raided.
Oh my gosh.
Because they know that
it's an illegal gun or whatever.
Yeah. It was a ghost gun, whatever you want to call it. We scratched serial numbers off.
Wow.
And so I'm thinking at the time, I didn't know any of this was going on either because I'm not talking to my parents. Like, I haven't talked to a single family member in, at this point, like 7 months.
Wow.
Or so. And so, yeah, I mean, I've seen some pretty, like, fucking fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and like, something inside of me was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't know what it was. I did see a guy die.
You did? What happened?
Fentanyl.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know if I can fucking do this. This is the fentanyl I didn't even know about. I think at that point there was a couple deaths that I'd heard, but I was like, what are people doing to get, like, I didn't know fentanyl itself was something you could do. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I feel like that's when it was slowly kind of making its way. Not just even the stuff, but the information where we all start hearing about. I mean, I'm sober by then, but like, I think it just like slowly filtered into the culture, even the terminology.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All I knew fentanyl as, like, because I had a C-section, like I knew about fentanyl and Dilaudid and stuff like that, but I'm not a prescription drug girly.
Yeah.
Like, I like the street drugs. I like to, I like the whole lifestyle that comes around it. And so when this guy's like dying on fentanyl or like an overdose, and I've never seen people use Narcan. So I was like, what the fuck is happening? And they just like shoot him up with like 3 different things of Narcan. And he lived that time, but then eventually he did die, you know?
Wow.
It was just crazy. So I don't know when it was. Well, there was a time when I got like beat up pretty bad.
By the boyfriend?
Yeah. Yeah. And I was just like, I don't think I can do it anymore. There's nothing left of me. And at this time, I have no car. I have no relationship with my family. I got fired from the job. I'm just miserable. I'm completely reliant on this guy's validation and like some sort of weird emotional support that thought I was feeling. So I basically call my mom, who I haven't spoke to in, like I said, a year. And I said, Mom, I think I'm done. Which was the hardest call. But she was like, my mom's from Lakeside. My mom used to run around with, clubs. And she was like a tweaker. So she's been sober off that for a while. And so she comes and she picks me up. I'm in this police interceptor, like the old, basically the old cab cars.
Oh, okay.
It started with a screwdriver. It did not belong to me. And my mom rolls up and she's like, oh, honey. She's like, that's fucked. You're fucked. And so they made like that call to like get me into a treatment facility.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I went to the Lighthouse in Anaheim.
Okay. Did you have insurance? No, that's a Medi-Cal one.
I did have insurance. So because I was under 26.
You were able to have insurance.
I was able to have my dad's insurance, which was great insurance.
Yeah.
So I went to this place, but it was $20,000 big book though.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
right.
know what
Totally.
I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
But it was great. I got introduced to like the big book, stuff like that, and like what sobriety could look like. But it was during COVID, so I didn't go to any AA meetings.
Did you have to wear masks in the treatment center?
Not in the treatment center, but if we left the treatment center, which like thank God.
Yeah, so annoying.
I smoked like 3 packs of cigarettes a day. I could not smoke. I was like so messed up mentally.
Right.
And they're waking us up at like 5 a.m. and I'm like, what is this shit? Like my circadian rhythm was so off.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't slept in so long for most of it.
Yeah.
And it was just, it wasn't fun, but I got out of there. I ended up going to a meeting the night I got out, which was my home group now.
The Gutter Sluts?
No, the South O Beginners.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Tuesday night? No.
Yep.
Oh, it's Tuesdays. It's still Tuesday.
Yep.
Okay.
My favorite meeting.
Wait, is this your sobriety date? What you're talking
Nope.
about? Okay.
Nope. This is like, I stayed sober for 1.5 years.
Oh, wow.
I
okay.
did, but I didn't stay sober.
Okay.
I was still running around with him.
Okay.
I was like, I could do this lifestyle.
Right.
But do it sober.
Okay. And you actually didn't use?
And
he still would?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
In front of me, I shot people up in their neck. I would go to...
And you didn't use?
Nope, not once.
Wow.
Because I was like, as long as I can prove to these people I can stay sober, I'd get my kid back. I'd get a job. My dad helped me get a car, like a little dingy fucking get well car.
Yeah.
And so I just...
What was going on with your son at that time? Were you attempting to... Was his dad kind of working with you? Were you allowed to see him? Or?
Right. So at one point he called one time he called someone who then called me while I was still in my shit and was like, can she sign over her rights? I just didn't respond. So I never signed my rights over.
Okay.
This man has a heart of gold.
The dad?
Yes.
Okay.
He wanted me back. He wanted to have me in my son's life, just not all the time. He would let him stay with me at the sober living for hours.
Wow.
Like unsupervised.
You are really lucky. A lot of people wouldn't do that.
No, I'm like, the relationship I have built with my son's dad is probably one of my greatest achievements in staying sober.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was so hard.
Once you got sober and you're at Lighthouse and you had that 1.5 years, how did you start to feel internally about leaving your son? Or were you still at a point where you were like, no, that was the right decision?
Oh, I was so selfish.
You still felt that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, even before I left, my son's dad came to my parents' house before I went to rehab. And I said, why the fuck are you guys here? I was not prepared.
Yeah.
I was so sick.
Yeah.
And so I was, when I got out, of course I was glad to see them. I had 30 days sober at that point, and I was like a little clarity. So they picked me up from rehab, my son and my son's dad, and they drove me there too. But I made promises I couldn't keep. I was still seeing my ex. I was still letting him stay with me while lying to my son's dad about how I felt about him.
Right. Okay.
And just I was so fake in this program. I was like doing I was sponsoring chicks while I'm fucking shooting other broads up in the neck, and just not a vision for you at all. And just pretending. It's so bad. So eventually I got loaded.
Okay.
And it was February 26th of 2022 was when I had my first drink after having some sobriety time, and it was on. Like, immediately I was like, oh, I can have one beer. Look at me go. And then I'm like twisting a bizzo.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
How it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I stayed loaded for a year and some change. And then I finally burned all the bridges.
Where were you living during that year?
So I'd met a guy. I had this house. So I had this little studio right before I relapsed. So I finally got my own little spot. I stayed there until about November, and like I said, my relapse was in February. And then I found another dude who would take me in, use drugs the way I did. We worked together. He was like my bartender.
Okay.
You know, just completely like trash human. And that I was like, you're perfect.
Right.
You're everything I needed more.
What bar did you work at?
I worked at Harney's. I was the
sushi place.
Yeah, I was the manager.
Oh, that's a nice place.
It's a great place.
Oh, wow.
But like, we were all so toxic at one point, like so toxic. And we were drinking sake, we were doing drugs, we were in the bathroom. Like, we'd fit like 6 of us chicks in the big stall at Harney's, and we're all just like doing rails. And like, at the time, like, I was like, okay, well, I'm not smoking meth.
Right.
You know, I kind of like leaned away from those friends. Like, I'd even burned the tweakers.
Right.
Like, how do you burn the tweakers?
Right,
you know what I mean? And so I'm like creating this new identity with these new friends, and I meet that guy, and I'm like, okay, I'll move in with him. And then we're the most toxic couple. He's like beating me up. He's throwing my clothes away. He's kicking me out of the house with no shoes. Just like so bad. And so eventually, like, I hit a point again, and I got sober July 19th of 2023.
Okay.
And I got here on a 13th step because I've constantly looked for people to like make me feel better.
Sometimes that can work though.
It did. I mean, it worked.
It worked. Like when I got sober this time, I'd started seeing this dude that was in drug court, and he really took this seriously.
Yeah.
And we were together my first couple of years, and I know in the past I've tried to do that and it didn't work. But this time sometimes I don't recommend it, but like anything that gets you in can get you in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Okay. So what happened you said July 23rd? What?
July 19th, 2023.
So what happened on like the 16th, 17th, 18th? Like, how did that day become the day?
So this guy that I told you that 13 stepped me into the program, we were actually seeing each other like a month prior, and then he broke up with me. Okay. And like, I was staying sober. I'd been sober for 40 days. Okay. And he broke up with me and went back to his wife. I know, it's so bad. It's so gross. And so I'm devastated at this point. I'm calling every guy that's ever touched me. And I'm like, can we get, let's go out, let's go party. So I hit up one of my buddies who I believe sober today. And he was like, let's meet up at Larry's Beach Club, because it's my favorite. Yeah. Yeah. I feel good going in there. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're having a really bad day and you don't think you look good, walk into Larry's or Walmart. Yeah. Like, you'll feel so good about yourself. And so we get there. I'm like having a couple of drinks, and I was like, what do you got? And he's like, we can go in the car. And then I'm snorting, crank, and we're partying, we're being gross. And then he gets over my shit. It was like 8:00 in the morning. He's like, I got to go to court. Like, dude, it's perfect. Right. So yeah, he's got to go to court. I'm like, okay, cool. Who else is up right now? So 9:00 rolls around. I call my ex, the one that was beating me up, all that stuff. And I was like, you want to kick it? And he's like, yeah, for sure. I get over there. He wasn't doing crank at the time. He was just cocaine weirdo. Like, one that like listens to like electric dance music and gets weird by himself. You know what I'm talking about? Which was fine. I'll take what I can get. It's 9:00 in the fucking morning. And so we're drinking, we're doing drugs, and then we start fighting. And then I have this girl that we were mutually friends with come pick me up. She's, talking to me off the ledge. He's got some new broad over at the house right after I leave. It was just like the toxicity, right? Uh-huh. So I eventually, like, this all happened in like a 2.5 day span. Okay. So I'm at this chick's house. I eventually get down to sleep at like 5 a.m. Like, that whole day was just a blur. I wake up, it's like 10:00, and it's July 19th. Or July 18th. And I'm like, okay, I think I can get sober. I
Wow.
think I can get sober. And so I called the guy that 13 stepped me. Now I think he ended up calling me. It was a weird how it worked out. It was like, I want to get sober. He's leaving the wife again. I'm going to run into his arms and we're going to go off into the sobriety, trudge the road to happy destiny.
Right.
You know? And so I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? You know? And it all made sense in my head. Then I moved my happy ass into their family home.
The guy with his wife?
Yeah,
Okay.
she moved out.
Okay.
I was like, I'm moving in. He's like, I want you to come stay here.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's the best, worst idea I've ever heard because I
Right.
don't want to be home. I don't want to face any of this shit.
Yeah.
And so obviously it didn't work out, thank God. And he got back with his wife. And I think they're living like a really happy life now.
So you don't go to treatment. You just stop.
No, yeah. I didn't want treatment because a lot of people, like my previous sponsor had been like, do you want to go to do 10-day rehab? I was like, no, I don't want to go to the women's first step house. Like, I've got this guy. He's going to keep me sober, you know? And luckily it worked out. Like, we stayed together a little while. I got like probably 60 days and we split off. But it was just the amount of time I needed. I moved back home.
With your parents?
With my parents.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm still there.
Okay.
But just, I'm moving to Reno soon. So it's been nice.
Reno,
to, like,
Nevada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
why?
Joe, do you know Joe, my husband?
No.
Yeah, Joe.
Wait, do I? Who do I know him?
Joe Lorero. He has like the tattoo here.
Show me. I probably know him. Oh, I didn't even know you were married now.
This guy.
Show me the. Do I know him?
I think you do. I
don't know if I know. I would recognize him. He's got sunglasses. Maybe I'd recognize him if I saw his.
Yeah, I've got to find a solid photo. But yeah, me and Joe got married in on the 23rd of December last year.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, so you just got married.
Yeah. Here.
Aww. Oh, well, you look great in that picture.
Well, thank you.
You are so photogenic. I don't think I know him.
Really?
No. But I just mainly do HA now. So if he's an AA guy, I wouldn't know him.
CA. He's
CA,
all over the place. Yeah.
I've probably seen him at meetings before. He actually looks kind of familiar.
He's gone through the biggest transformation that AA has ever provided. So when I first met him, I was like, this guy, no.
Yeah.
No fucking way. Who is he? He looked like an East County tweaker that I would hang out with for sure.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I can't be around your kind.
Should I interview him too?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll interview him too.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Okay, so 60 days, you're living with that guy. You move home.
Yep. And then I had the bright idea of signing up for college.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna be 28, single mom, go to college, make it all work. And I do. And I go to school. I went to Palomar Community College. I ended up getting my associate's degree there, and I got accepted into UCSD.
Oh, wow.
So
is that where you're in school right now?
Yeah,
is UCSD?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool.
Crazy.
What are you going to school for?
Well, forensic psychology, neuroscience, stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
But right now I'm just working on my BA, and then I want to go and get my PhD in clinical.
What do you want to do? Be an actual psychologist?
Yeah, well, I don't want to do the therapy part.
Okay.
I don't fucking like victims. I can't do that. You know, I just can't. I'll be too mean. But I want to work with, right now, like I work with women incarcerated at the CIW.
Okay.
So I really want to go into that realm of things. Yeah, do forensic psychology. I want to make like assessments and work with the courts.
So now you're coming up on 3 years in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and are you working during this time or are you just going to school and living at home?
I'm going to school, and then I did work at, do you know Senior Grubbies?
Yes.
Yeah, I worked there. I was a bartender there.
Okay.
I took like a year sober, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to go see if I can bartend again. And I did, and I loved it. And yeah, and they're fabulous. Like Rob and Dana, who own the one in Oceanside, were so good to me. Everyone there was amazing. It's just once I got into UCSD, shit picked up a little bit.
Totally.
And then I got a job with my school.
Okay.
And that's how I started working with the UC sentencing program or project.
Whoa.
And like, yeah.
So how did you get back connected with what did the process look like with your son?
With my son. So when I was, let's see, December, so I was like right around 5 months sober, I decided to take my son's dad to court. So what had happened in between, like from leaving rehab to that point was like we built up a pretty toxic relationship where we started even drinking and doing drugs together.
Okay.
And then he like went off and found a new chick. He ended up getting married.
Oh.
Yeah, randomly. And I was like, what the heck, dude? Like, and then I thought because he was getting married, he was going to move away with my kid because that's what he had talked about. So my bright idea was take him to court, see what I can get, you know, with all my past, like I know he's going to throw it all in my face, but I have to fight or they're just going to take him.
Yeah.
You know, because there's
Yeah.
no papers saying he can't.
Mhm.
We go to court. I basically told him everything I was doing. And the judge was like, okay, well, you can have 2 days a week. And which was more than I had expected. I didn't think I was going to get 50-50.
Yeah.
But what we've ended up since that court date to last I think it was like 3 weeks ago, we went to court again.
Okay.
And it wasn't a bad, like we went so we could clarify we're both moving.
Oh, okay.
And so we want 50-50 custody, but we want to make the decisions of how we're going to do that. Right.
Okay.
And so I've never had such a solid relationship with this man.
Wow.
And like, I didn't like his wife when they first got together, and now I do love her because of the way she loves my son.
Yeah.
Like if I could not have picked a better bonus mom for him, you know, and I love that he's had I'm just stoked. Like there's no price tag on the relationship I have with my son's dad and his wife. My son is the best thing that ever happened to this earth. He is the smartest, kindest, sweetest little boy. He's like super intellectual. The relationship I have with him is like he's such a mama's boy.
Yeah.
And this is a kid that I left.
Right.
And then I didn't want back.
Yeah. So currently you guys have 50-50.
Currently,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how old was he when you got sober again this time?
5. It was right
so
after.
He probably doesn't really. Does he remember anything?
No, he
Okay.
doesn't.
Okay.
And because I was like, he doesn't remember anything specifically when I left when he was like 1.5.
Right.
Because I was still around after my relapse.
Okay.
I would still come around.
Okay.
I wasn't as
As
available.
gone.
Yeah. Like I
Okay.
was still like trying. I was
Okay.
sleeping most of the time.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a good mom, you know, but
yeah.
he knew,
But he'd see you.
he'd see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now, you know, almost 3 years sober, we've had this amazing relationship, and it's incredible. Like I wouldn't give up what I have today, and I wish I knew what I could have today, because back then
Yeah.
I didn't think it was possible to feel this way.
Yeah.
Like I have such a freedom and a serenity, and I help a lot of women,
Yeah.
and I didn't think my story was worth the shit, you know.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
If someone's listening right now and they're feeling maybe they've stepped away from raising a child at the moment, did you feel feelings of shame? Like, why should I even go back?
Oh yeah.
What would you say to someone that's feeling that way?
I mean, the best thing you can do is ground yourself where you are right now and get yourself right-sized and recognize that it's not about you and you're not special or unique. And that there's so many other moms. Like the reason I kept coming back to the rooms and going to women's meetings was I heard women talk about what I had been through. And I was like, I'm not fucking unique.
And doing something similar.
And doing
or losing, or yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And recognizing like there's so much relatability, and it doesn't matter how old they are or when you start to like want to come back, just get started.
Yeah.
Make yourself present. You know, it's like my best thing that I can do today is show up whenever he needs me. And I'm not perfect, mother. You know, I don't know who is.
Right.
And it's just that availability.
Yeah.
And just start to do that. You know, the problem with the shame is like you'll start to decline back and take yourself out of it even more. And it's like you got to push through it, you know, because then you're making yourself a victim to your own situation.
Totally. And it makes it worse, obviously,
makes
the
it
more you step
worse.
back. So what does your recovery look like? You're a 12-step person.
Yeah.
So you do the whole sponsorship steps, whatever.
Yeah. I sponsor 2 women right now, and they're much smarter than me. I love them. I got them when they were raw dogging it, and God, they're sick. They're like, I love the sickies, you know. And so they show me what this life's about. You know, I open the book with them, and I'm like, my mind's blown every time. Like, it's incredible watching another alcoholic help another alcoholic. And I mean, my life today too, like I have a freedom I never once felt. I get to walk wherever I want in this world. I have a relationship with God that's like untouchable.
Yeah.
I just recently got baptized.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And like prior to this, it was like, I don't believe that God believes in me. Therefore, why would I continue to seek him? You know, and so now I seek him every day. It's made a huge transformation in my life because what I'm able to provide now for people is compassion. It's non-judgment. It's acceptance. And like, I wasn't like that before, because if you didn't have something to serve me, I didn't need you. I don't want you. You know what I mean? I'm so about Rio. So to learn how to like not and to serve thy neighbor rather than thyself, like that's what I need.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I just have a rad life. Like I have a really beautiful life.
When you say you seek God daily now, what does that look like? Do you have like a daily practice relative to your recovery or sobriety, or even if it's not daily, like once, like what does a practice like that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, me and my girls, we do gratitude lists each day, which is like pretty normal for most people. But I do like worship in my car because I'm not like a big, like, I don't know, like I pray all the time at night and stuff. But I love to worship God. I do.
So you listen to like worship music?
I listen to worship music.
Oh, that's cute. That's cool.
It's so.
Cool.
I used to listen to like Slipknot, Metallica, and I'm all like pissed off. And now I'm like, oh,
he's an awesome
God.
God.
Yeah, dude. I'm like obsessed with it, and but it's my alone time with God.
Yeah.
You know, and
in the car.
In the car. Yeah, in the car. And I do it with my son, and now my son hums like Brandon Lake songs and stuff. I'm like, this is the sweetest thing ever. But yeah, like and I go to church. I do the church thing. I have, and then I also like Joe and I, our whole foundation was based in like our faith, the leader that, you know, how we lead our relationship is in Christ.
Okay. And how did you meet him?
How did I meet Joe? Oh my gosh. So me and Joe met before I relapsed. Joe was
okay.
Yeah, Joe was 60 days sober. He was at a CA meeting in Oceanside, like off El Camino over there. There used to be like the psychic change meeting.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing him and he comes up to me and goes, "Hey, Rio." I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like still so sick in my disease. Like, although I had a year sober, I was not, you know, like I said, I'm watching people shoot up in their neck. Like I'm not doing good.
Right.
And so this guy, he's just trying to be nice to me. And I'm just like, get the fuck away from me. Like, you don't know me. You know what I mean? I had this huge ego too. I thought I was so big and bad. And then what was crazy was I came back into sobriety and Joe had just gotten 60 days because he'd smoked weed or whatever. He has been like sober off the crank and alcohol and all that for like 5 years, but smoked weed, came back, he had 60 days. I had 6 months.
Okay.
And so I'm talking to him. I'm like, are you the same guy?
So you met him when you came back in. You were like, are you the same guy I met before?
Yeah,
and he was. Okay.
He was so hot. It was crazy because when he came in, he was still like a little bloated, still like, you know, not this guy. And I looked at him and I'm like, God worked in your life. Like, I don't care if you smoked a little bit of weed, sir. You're looking mighty fine.
It's amazing.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And so I led a meeting like a year after we had seen each other again. And it was in Carlsbad. And so we're talking outside and we just exchanged numbers. And so like 2 months later, we're talking again and he asked me to go on a date.
Aww.
I blew him off. But I didn't blow him off. I had to go to work. I ran out of time. He came and sat at my work for 3 hours at the bar and talked to me.
Oh.
And so, you know, one thing led to the next, and he's an iron worker.
Okay.
So he moved out to Carson City because there's his son's out there.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of, it's like booming for iron workers.
Oh, cool. Okay. Okay, so that's why you guys are moving there.
That's why we're moving there. Yeah. And yeah, we got engaged in July and we got married in December, and now our wedding's planned for August.
Okay, so you're going to do a whole big thing.
We're going to do a whole big thing, but I have tweaker teeth and he has really good insurance. So like even before here, I was at the dentist's office because I had to get another, like I'm gaining morals, losing teeth. You know what I mean? Like I'm working on it.
And you want a big wedding. It's really fun.
It is.
Or at least to where it doesn't have to be big.
Right.
But like you want to dress.
Yeah.
And to have pictures. It's one of the most fun things I did was when when we got married and,
Did you have a sober wedding?
Yeah. No, we had alcohol there, but Skylar's sober too, right?
Yeah,
I met him at an HA meeting. So, but no, like my whole wedding party was friends of mine from high school. They're not sober.
Right.
And his friends and family, there actually were probably not even that many sober people there. I had like a bunch of clients go. So no, we had a bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, most of my...
It didn't bother me.
Yeah, no. I want to have like a mocktail thing because all of my, like as crazy as it is, I burned so many bridges. The only people I have now are sober.
Right.
Like that's where it's at.
Totally.
And what's rad too is
having the mocktail thing is a good idea.
Right.
For sure. Yes.
Right.
Yes. I would probably do that now too. I didn't even really, it was a whole thing. We got married out of town. We got married where he's from up in San Francisco. Francisco, it's a whole thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I didn't have as many resources up there. But no, we didn't do a sober wedding. But
Right. Well,
yeah,
I need a sober wedding. My mom can't be given bottomless champagne
Fair.
at any point in my wedding, you know. And then anyone who is still my friend is an alcoholic.
right.
So we're okay. I
Right.
need to avoid that at all
Where are you
costs.
guys going to get married?
Gardnerville
Okay.
in Nevada.
Okay.
So it's it's super boho farmhouse. Like I'm living out my like dream of being married in the Sierra Nevadas.
Yeah.
And so it's super sweet, and
that's
like,
cool.
but planning it has been
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, and like now I understand why people get wedding planners.
Yes.
Because fuck this shit.
Yes.
This is not made for the fucking week.
You just want to get one the day of. You can get a wedding coordinator for that day, and I definitely recommend that so that they can like tell people where to go, or you know.
It came with the venue. Luckily,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we
perfect.
got
Okay,
I got
good.
my girl.
Okay, good.
She's helping me out. But yeah, it's been fun. I'm excited to leave San Diego because I never have. Like North County is my like I've fucked around and I have found out so many times in North County. I'm so prepared to be gone. And like it's wonderful growing up where you live, you know, but
Mhm.
like sometimes I'm
You
walking
want to get away. I'm glad I don't live in Georgia anymore.
Yeah,
I
is
might
that where you're
back.
from?
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow. You
Yeah.
have an accent.
No, everybody that was in the town that I was in was usually pilots. Like it's a Delta town, and so like my parents are from Miami, but I've also now been here a really long time. I moved to
Okay.
California in 2002,
Oh, wow.
so I've been here longer
Wow.
than I was there. You know,
Yeah.
It feels like I'm like from.
You
here
were here when it
almost.
was cool.
Well, I wasn't in San Diego. I was in LA from 2002 to 2008 or 9.
Oh, okay.
But even if it was cool, I was not a part of anything cool.
Yeah,
Fuck no,
you're all
dude. I
hanging out
never
in
had any
Pozole.
money. Yeah, I never
I
had any
couldn't imagine
money.
you hanging out in Pozole.
Dude, not only did I hang out in Pozole, I was so fucking crazy. I had these Russian tortoises that my ex had stolen from a meth dealer. And I was like in love with these tortoises. Their names were Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah.
And
I had a Biggie and Smalls. They
You
were
did?
hamsters.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I would put them in a little basket, and they need sun like once or twice a week. And I had this whole, you know, the LL reptile place
Of
over
course
here?
I do. I take my son there.
Okay. They used to be open in the back, and you could just jump in at night and steal like substrate and lights, and because
Oh my
these
God.
tortoises need like a lot of care. This is years ago that we used to do this, and I had like this whole it was a whole thing. But I would put them in a basket and walk them around and take like hibiscus leaves and rose petals and drop them in because that's what they would eat. So not only was I in Pozole, I was a crazy, skinny, strung out white girl walking around, track marks, barefoot. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's where the doghouse was.
Oh my God.
I know, isn't that ridiculous?
It's kind of fantastic.
I wish I had pictures from back
I
then.
know.
I have none.
That like
No mugshots.
I was
no
too
pictures,
close to you
nothing.
to not see that.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
know.
I
We were
need that
definitely in the same
imagery.
era. I know, me too. I know,
That's
me
so
too.
Crazy.
Me too.
It's so crazy what we'll do.
I know.
But yeah, no, I'm grateful that, you know, I'm where I am today.
Yeah.
I'm grateful like you have this. I've been actually watching Chasing Heroin.
Oh, really?
I'm on your what is that? iTunes or I don't know the
Spotify or something?
yeah, whatever
Okay.
it's called.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's been
So you like listen sometimes?
and Vegas.
Do you
I watched
Oh, yeah,
Vegas's. Yeah.
I love Vegas.
Dude.
His episode is really good.
He's fucking fantastic. He's
Okay,
one of
so
the first
then-
people.
Yeah, I love him. So then sometimes I ask, what do you have a favorite step or a step that impacted you the most, benefited you the most?
Step 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
without a doubt. I mean, I love step 5 because I saw the magic happen when I finally told another woman like all of the things, and I continue to call her because some stuff pops up, but I finally had this like, oh my God, I'm free of it.
Yeah.
I could walk freely. That I love step 7 too. I have 2. I like step 7 because I always am giving God over my shortcomings.
Yeah.
And when I do, God, am I relieved because these are things I've held on to for so long.
Yeah.
And now I can like it talks about like the Draw of the Rock book, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never felt so light in my life.
I actually haven't read that. Should I read it?
No.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
The
like,
concept is just to drop the rock.
Drop
Okay,
the rock.
that's all I need to know.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Like
Summarizes
it
it.
talks about being on a ship and people are dying and you need to it was
Okay.
far too much.
Okay.
You could go on ChatGPT and get
Okay.
like the
Get a summary.
key points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does a step 7 in practice look like for you? Like if something crops up, do you right then say, I need help with this shortcoming, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly when I do like an inventory, like a nightly inventory on myself, like where I can give it up, and I pray for it to be given up, and
You do a nightly inventory still?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I have sponsees that do it with me, therefore I do it back.
Sure.
And I also do what my sponsor told me to do when I first got sober, because I have to continue doing the things that I did when I first got sober today if I want to keep that kind of sobriety.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I write it on rocks and I throw it in the water, like the shortcoming on a rock.
Oh, okay. Wait, how often do you do this?
Just depends on
Okay.
like when I'm feeling it, when I know that it's something that's lingering. Like, for instance, with my son's stepmom, like I was so like had so much rage.
Yeah.
So much rage towards this person. So I would, write rage.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, yeah.
And throw it in the water.
And throw it in the water. I'd go do it at Buccaneer Park.
Okay.
Right
Yeah,
there with
totally.
get a coffee, go sit with the squirrels,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's helped me so much.
Oh, I
to
love that.
remove that. Yeah.
What does your nightly inventory look like?
Where I could have been better.
Okay.
If I need to pray for someone, I owe someone an apology, if I've been honest or dishonest. Like just the other day, I left Marshall's and they didn't charge me for a pair of Reeboks. And so I get in my car, I'm like, well, I've been such a good girl lately. This is just Jesus's way of saying thank you. And I call my sponsor and she said, turn your fucking ass around. You're not a good girl. Have you looked at your fucking life, Rio? She's like, you're no fucking saint. Get over yourself, you piece
That's
of
awesome.
shit. Yeah, I have the sternest sponsor.
Do I know your sponsor?
I don't think so.
Okay.
She's got 20 years now, or almost 20 years. She's from Vista, Poway area.
Okay, I probably don't know her. Yeah.
She's so dope. She literally has my story. Yeah. And I remember hearing hers for the first time, and I go, you're fucked up. I was like, I thought I was sick. You're fucked up. Yeah. It's incredible. And she's been my sponsor since I first got sober in 2020. Like, she wouldn't stop fucking calling me.
Mine too. Mine's been my sponsor since before this round too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck did you have the patience?
Yeah. Totally.
And she's like, well, you're just like, she believed in me so much. Yeah. And like that kind of unconditional love, like I never felt out there. I seeked for it. Like I looked for it. I even tried to find it in like other women, and like she's been more of like a big sister figure to me. Like I have a big sister who I love, but she's not here. But my sponsor has completely, I don't know, she's held me tight and I can't ever repay that.
Yeah.
So
when do you graduate from college?
I should be graduating next year. So 2027. Yeah. Okay. And then hopefully work on my PhD and get married,
so cool.
Get all these things. Yeah, it's so rad. Yeah. It was not in the books for me.
Right.
I have such like an incredible life, like, and I don't say that with like ego behind it, like I really do.
Well, it's good to share because like when you were watching that guy pour your almond milk on his missing foot, right, you would never have thought one day I'll be working on a PhD.
Right.
And that's why I do the show. That's like what I want people to hear.
Exactly. Like there was, I'm doing those things at an age when I'm still going to high school, showing up, and I'm like, I can't grasp it, and I was in that body. Yeah. How I was able to do that and still show up for school.
I don't know how you're able.
And I'm gonna bitch about waking up cranky and not make it to school today. Like that's absurd. So I do it for her.
Yeah.
I do it for her. She needed that.
Yeah.
And I want to be the woman that I needed when I was young. That was like a big thing for me, was turning like pain into power. And I want to be able to show up for people the way that I needed someone to show up for me.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky because women have. All the time, women are showing up for me. And that was not my get down. I didn't want to come here and sit in a fucking circle and sing Kumbaya and watch you fucking cry. I could give a fuck, Yeah. But now I'll hold you and I'll love you and I'll give you kisses on the cheek. Like I'm such a gush for some of that shit. I'm like, oh, I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I got soft here.
Yeah,
I got real
that's
soft.
good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad
it is, especially for someone who thought like the the vulnerability was a weakness.
Totally.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's been my biggest strength, and like now I get to hear, you know, some of your story about walking around with tortoises on your fucking head.
Yeah.
That's
Holding them like
incredible.
this.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Truly.
Actually, Buccaneer Park, and then I'll let you go. Buccaneer Park, right there. There used to be a couple of houses right there that they tore down for those like apartments. Or there's like nice lofts there.
Right.
I was squatting in a house there. They tore it down like 2 months later. Squatting in a house there. And I thought, like, right next to the road. You know how some of those homes are like they're like 4 feet from the road.
Right.
One of those. I thought police showed up in the front. We were in the front room. It was like this mansion. And an abandoned mansion, no fixtures. Everything was, you know, like just holes in the floor where the toilets were. And at the time, I was like, I wonder why. But it's because they were tearing it down. Jumped up, ran out the back. There was like a sliding glass door, ran onto the sand, ran down to the water, went left, and just ran, I don't even know how far, like over that little, you know, there's that weird little creek thing.
Yeah.
And then I kept going. And then at some point, I just like bolted left where there was like a little bluff of sand and buried myself in sand up to my neck. And I could see ATVs on the beach,
Right.
like coming for me. And I was like, and so I'm hiding in the sand. I had glasses with one lens in them.
Right.
And slowly this sun started to come up and I realized it was not ATVs. It was buoys in the water.
Oh my God.
No police had ever even been there.
Oh my God. It's so good.
Yeah. And that was right there at Buccaneer Park, actually.
It's so funny you say that. Real quick, I was at like day 4 in a psychosis, and I was down at, you know where the Strand is in Oceanside?
Yeah.
So my house was right above that, like on the alleyway.
Okay.
So I walked down there. I buried everything that was important to me in the backyard, which was an EBT card, a fucking scratcher, and my calligraphy pens. And I said, I'll come back for you if I make it, right? And I'm fucking walking down to the beach, and I get on the rocks. I take off all my clothes, and I'm giving myself to the fucking ocean, right? Because I'm crazy. And I get out, and I think it was probably around like 4 a.m. at this point. By the time I get out of the ocean, the sun's coming up, and my clothes are nowhere to be found, and the tide picked up. And I was like, I didn't die. But there's fucking men and women and children seeing my happy ass get out of the ocean completely naked, running up that fucking hill to get to the alley.
Oh my gosh.
I'm shocked to this day that I never got arrested.
Oh my gosh.
I was so fucked up that I'm thinking like, one, this is at the time when I thought the area, like all these people were fucking coming for me, you know, and then I thought I'd give myself like, it's just, and people are telling me to do this, mind you. They're not.
Right.
They are. They're
right.
In my head, they're there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I love that, though, your possessions that were important to you were an EBT card and a scratcher and your calligraphy.
That was all that mattered.
One time I got arrested, and when I got out, the only thing that was in my property bag, which is basically all I had to my name, was a losing lottery scratcher, because I had it on me when I got arrested. I had that and some cigarettes, and they threw away my cigarettes, and they handed me a property bag, and all I had was a losing lotto scratcher standing there at Vista Jail, that long hallway, and I was like...
And I bet you even went to go check it to make sure it was...
for sure. Yeah, I scanned it. Yeah.
You scanned it, yeah. Or you have your app out. Oh my God. You know where you can do the second chance when you scan stuff? I had 1,500 lotto tickets that I'd scanned for second chance.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, because it tells you. See, back then, I didn't have a phone. I didn't have the fancy app. So.
It was...
Oh my God.
Horrible. Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's nothing like a lotto crossword scratcher when you're somebody on meth.
Thank you. I spent hours on those. Oh my God. I feel so validated right now because other people are like, why the crossword? I'm like, because you just get each little word.
Yep,
yeah.
the crossword.
Oh my God.
That was actually one of the first hustles I ever had when I was really new. I was strung out on heroin, but I still like had a place. I lived in Carlsbad Village. I was teaching bar at a really bougie place. And this tweaker girl, we were at our Heroin Connect's house, and she had bought a bunch of scratchers, and she gave me one to do for her.
Oh, wow.
And it won $100.
And you're like, yeah.
And she was like, did that win? And I said, no.
Oh,
and she was like, oh, okay. And I remember going and getting the money.
Oh, for sure.
And that was the first, and I end up like robbing Walmarts and stuff later, but that was the first little like drug scam that I did.
You're like, I got this, bitch.
I still remember. Yeah. Isn't that funny? And it was a crossword scratcher.
Fuck yeah.
I loved those.
I did too, man. I won quite a bit. Won 500 twice.
Damn, really?
On the $5 crosswords.
Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Rio, thank you so much. And thank you for your patience with my
Dude,
changing the schedule.
My patience am good. No,
Yeah.
that was great.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, I
you.
appreciate it so much.
Thank you. No, me too. This was fantastic.
Yeah,
and
did you
I
have
love
fun?
this. Yeah, of course I did. Are you
Okay,
kidding?
good.
I got to know
Awesome.
you too. This is
Good,
great.
good, good. Awesome.
Yes.
Yay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.